What is up, everybody? J Nell here with my Manny Pacquiao Jeff Horn recap video. It happened this past Saturday. I hope you saw it. Also, my UFC The Ultimate Fighter 25 prediction video, which happens this Friday, because as you know, this is UFC Fight Week, and there's more than one event. The first starting with the Tough Enough 25 recap video. But first, I did not do a prediction video for this, but I had to recap because A, it was just a really good fight. And new WBO welterweight champion Jeff Horn. He defeated Manny Pacquiao in 12 rounds this past Saturday. There's some controversy. A lot of people think it went the other way around. You're going to let me know what you think, but first let's get into it. Now, the first half of this fight, leading all the way up to about the 7th or 8th round, kind of went the same way, which is Jeff Horn was much bigger and stronger than Manny Pacquiao, and boy, did he use every bit of that to his advantage. He jumped on Manny quick and early, had Manny fighting from behind. He used his size. He was muscling Manny around this entire ring. There was times where he would step back with that reach advantage and clock him with some jabs, but you'd be surprised how close he fought this, being the bigger and the longer man. He would literally chest to chest push Manny across that the ring with the forearm one time. He even pushed Manny away. He would get up close and in his face. He would cover him almost with his size. I mean, landing shots, curving shots to the head, to the body, and just really, like I said, muscling Manny around this ring to the point where you couldn't tell that Manny was actually faster than Jeff. I knew that he would be, but in the first few of this fight, you really couldn't tell, not until that third round. Now, the third round is where Manny kind of found his footing a bit, found what worked, a few things that worked. He had to slip, he had to move in and out, and be real slippery with his angles. He had to fight him, of course, in spacing, try to back up and try to press the action himself. So he got that third round. He also landed the first real significant shot in that third round, which you heard, which stunned Jeff. So the third round goes to Manny. The fourth round was close, but I give it to Jeff. And the fifth round is the one that everyone's really debating. Super close fifth round. Could have gone either way, and I've watched it more than once, and I still don't know how that fifth round goes. Now, the sixth and seventh round, or sixth round for sure, I believe that Jeff was able to maintain his being first. Like I said, Manny was really fighting from behind for the first 7 rounds of this fight, because Jeff just jumped on him early and was just out hustling him. He did a good job of filling in the empty spots, throwing shots in the transitions when the ref would break them, getting that shot in real quick. Right before he would break them up, getting that shot in real quick. Angles that came from when Jeff was picking up his posture and Manny was kind of ducking and going to turn away. Jeff really filled in those blank, empty spaces in the transitions with punches, quite frankly. So he was out hustling him as well as just muscling him around and being bigger and stronger than him and having the reach advantage and just being first, quite frankly. Manny was able to get his footing. I think he turned this fight around. This end of the 7th round, not only was he able to land more shots, he was landing the cleaner shots. And Jeff clearly started to slow down at the end of this 7th round. And the 8th round, to me, was where this fight really turned in Manny's favor. He clearly won the 8th round. He clearly landed more shots. He was in space more, was backing up Jeff more. Jeff was clearly tired of walking away and not pressing the pace, trying to. His shots were no longer landing as cleanly. More of them were slipping off. So again, clearly got tired there in that 8th round. The 8th round went to Manny. And the 9th, honey, in the 9th round, Manny Pacquiao almost finished Jeff Horn. He caught him with a shot early, stunned him early in this round, and had him reeling for the entire 9th round. Jeff's face was fairly clean going into the 9th. Coming out of the 9th, it was almost taco meat. Completely red bumps and knots and blood in the whole 9. Oh, Jeff was kind of wild, kind of sloppy. I think that's kind of why he was able to catch Manny off guard for the beginning of this fight. And in that wildness, in that scrappiness, there was 3 accidental headbutts that actually occurred in this fight from Jeff to Manny, or them colliding heads. And Manny got about 3 cuts, I believe at least 2 big cuts on his hairline through accidental headbutts, and was bleeding profusely from them. So let me just go ahead and mention that there were, though, 3 accidental headbutts, and I believe they were accidental because of how wild he was coming in and how scrappy he was. So again, the 9th round, where Manny Pacquiao nearly finished Jeff Horn, head, body, chasing him around the ring. There were times where Jeff nearly turned his back and had to run away because Manny was on that. But by the end, in between rounds, the ref actually went to Jeff and said, if I don't see anything from you in this 10th round, I'm going to stop the fight. Because Manny the onslaught was so much, he had him so stunned. Jeff's legs were clearly not in it. His eyes, you could tell, were glazing. He was no longer really fighting back. He was no longer really counterpunching. He was just surviving and running away. My apartment's real hot, y'all. We're going to have some real hot, moist days coming here in the summer. Okay, so that 9th round, he nearly finished Jeff Horn. You could give him the 9th by 2, and I think that is kind of a key factor here. You could have given him that round by 2. 9th round, more of the same. Jeff took that warning from the ref, and boy, did he come back on with a lot of effort and energy, but a lot of those punches were sliding off. Manny was still on. Manny was to the body and coming up to the face in this 9th round. So the 9th round to me is clearly still Manny Pacquiao's. 10th, the same. 11th, 10th and 11th were really close, but I still believe go to Manny. And the 12th to me is also the key debatable round where they both were going at it. You could tell Manny was starting to tire at this moment because he had dumped so much energy trying to finish Jeff by this point, especially in that 9th round. So they were both tired at this point. I do believe Jeff was more tired. If you look at the numbers, the stats afterwards, Manny Pacquiao actually landed almost twice as many shots with a higher accuracy percentage and more significant shots. But I need to really go through it round by round to see if most of that came in only a few rounds, one round, see how that happens, because we got a new champ and there's a lot of debate. A lot of people think Manny Pacquiao won this fight, and it's really close because if you give him from 8 on, that's 4 rounds, or 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, excuse me, that's 5 rounds. The 5th is debatable. If you give him that, that's 6. If you give him the 3rd, that's 7. If you give him the 9th by 2, he wins the fight by a couple of points. So I actually do see their argument. So you let me know who you thought won the fight and why. I think that we're definitely going to see a rematch here. I think the rematch is actually, you're probably going to make more money, because I don't know if people expected this fight to be so explosive and to have a new champ. So I think the rematch, they actually might be a bigger fight. We might see it on pay-per-view because this wasn't there. So you let me know who you thought won. I don't like the fact that after the fight, Manny, I said to myself, I said, he better not claim he had an injury or anything and that's why he lost, or say any kind of excuse. And of course, afterward, he said he was sick going into the fight. Every fighter is either sick or injured or banged up in some way going into fights. It's not an excuse. You're not the only one. Jeff's probably got an injury you don't know about either. So I just hate it when fighters do that. Oh, I had this injury. Oh, I was sick. Dude, you lost. You just lost in a very close, debatable, controversial fight. So make your case that way. Don't say that you're sick. You actually have reason to say, I won because of X, Y, and Z. So don't bring in the I was sick, that's whack, that's lame. All right. So again, please talk to me. Let me know what you thought of this amazing fight and why, which way it should go, where the rematch should be, and pay-per-view or not. Just let me know how you did on the rest of that fight, and of course if you got your pick or not. Now, UFC Tough Enough 25 prediction video, just real quick here. I'm not going to break it down. I am choosing Steve Bosse to beat Jared Cannonier. I'm choosing Mark Diakese to beat Drakkar Klaus. I'm going to be looking out for the pronunciation of that first name because I think I might like it. And in the main event, I'm choosing Michael Johnson to beat Justin Gaethje. Now, on all of these fights, I am going back and forth. They can go either way. I actually think that this Tough Enough Fight Night card is going to be quite good and explosive, so please don't sleep on it. I don't know what we're going to see from Justin Gaethje. There's a lot of questions there. This is his debut. Of course, he's the WSOF champion coming over here. And we know the champs sometimes come over and do very well. Will he perform well under the bright lights? Will he flounder under the bright lights? Has he not faced high enough competition like some people say? Does that not matter? Is he still ready anyway? So let me know what you got on those picks with your injury updates on all of that card, what you think we're going to see from Justin Gaethje. A lot of eyes here. Again, let me know what you thought about the Pacquiao fight and all your picks, injury updates here for the beginning of UFC Fight Week. All right, follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I'm on Snapchat now. Subscribe, like, talk to me, take care, and goodbye.